Something I believe is not taught enough by coaches is other aspects of wrestling besides the physical part. I'm talking directly about the mental aspect, the understanding of strategy, how moves can be used, understanding that the referee is not in control of you. He is a facilitator of the match, and you don't let him get into your head. One of the aspects of wrestling I want to talk about right now is visualization. Visualization, something that I have my wrestlers do after at almost every practice, or almost every practice, is have them lay down on their backs, and I'll actually have them close their eyes, and I'll tell them to pick a move that we went over today, or pick an area that they're struggling in, close their eyes, and while their body's cooling down, it's just to visualize them hitting that move on their partner 20, 30, 40 times. There was a study done where they had 3 groups of kids shooting basketballs, and they had one group of kids actually shooting free throws. They had another group of kids sitting on the side doing absolutely nothing, and then they had another group of kids not shooting basketballs, but visualizing shooting basketballs and making them. The group of kids that was shooting the basketballs got like 25% better. The group of kids that were sitting on the side doing nothing did not get any better. And the kids that did not shoot one basketball but were visualizing every single day shooting basketballs got 15% better. So you have to ask yourself, why did those basketball players get better at shooting when they didn't take one shot? Well, they're going through it in their mind again and again and again. Visualization can also help with things such as getting past mental blocks. I had a wrestler come to me and talk to me about a problem they were having where when they would shoot on guys that they know they're better than, they would stand up and drive right through. And they would have no problem finishing on that guy. Now, right, he's a lot better than that wrestler, so it's logical that he would stand up and drive right through them. But then he goes and he wrestles someone that he knows is really, really good. And then he gets in on their legs, and all of a sudden he stops. He said, well, I asked him, why did you stop? And he said to himself, well, I was kind of, surprised I got in on his legs, so when I get in on these really good guys' legs, I tend to stop. And, we started to have a conversation, well, how can we get past this? How can we get past this? And what I ended up instructing him to do was to imagine the best wrestler that he can think of. He's a high school wrestler, but I had him imagine one of the best wrestlers in the country, Division I. He can picture that guy, he can picture his face, what school he goes to, and I told him to visualize him taking that same exact shot on that number 1 wrestler in the country and standing up and driving right through. Told him every night when he's going to bed, laying down to go to sleep, to just sit there and shoot that high crotch on the number 1 guy in the country, stand up, drive through him, stand up, drive through him, stand up, drive through him, again and again and again. And when this kid came back and said, hey, you know what, when I got in on that guy's leg, that pedestal that I put this wrestler on kind of disappeared. He said, I did stand up and I did drive through him. The reason being, I believe, is that we took the idea away that this guy was unbeatable, that there's no way I can score a takedown on him. So when I get it on his legs, I get stuffed because I stopped moving because I didn't expect to get there. Well, with the visualization that we did, in his mind, he can finish that shot on anybody. It's not an easy thing to do to convince your mind of something, like trying not to feel anxiety, trying not to feel pressure. Those things don't help us in matches, but it's not as easy as saying, hey, turn it off, stop being stressed out. That takes mental practice. Just like when you get in on somebody that you don't expect to beat, it takes mental practice to be able to continue on in that shot. He had to get over the hump of not believing that he could get through someone. He had to get over that hump so that when he goes and he starts wrestling these better guys, it's no longer about who he's wrestling. It's not that this guy can stop my shot or this guy can stop my shot. Through visualization, what he ended up achieving was just focusing on the next step of wrestling. He took away the fearfulness of this really good wrestler stuffing him, and he turned it into, this isn't scary anymore. And then we came to the conclusion, well, what is the next step? When you're wrestling the guys that you know you can beat, do you even think about who you're wrestling? No. He thinks about getting in on the shot, standing up and driving through. Well, if that is the highest rate to succeed on finishing a shot, getting in on the shot, standing up and driving through, why don't we have that same type of mentality on the best guy? Because if that mentality wouldn't work on the worst guy, why are we trying it out on the best guy? So, through visualization, we can accomplish a lot of goals. We can go through reps, we can better our drills, we can imagine ourselves, getting our hand raised in the state finals. We can go through moves we haven't mastered yet. We can get over different mental humps, such as when I get in on a guy that I don't believe that I can beat, I'm going to continue to drive through. I'm going to continue to drive through. If you work those mental reps, when you get in on that guy's leg, you're not going to think to yourself, holy crap, I'm in on his leg. You're going to think to yourself, step up your feet, drive your head in, drive, 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 drive. Don't let the thoughts seep in. Through visualization, he was able to conquer that. And there's so many other ways that visualization can be used. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them. I'd be more than willing to answer them.